Have you ever wondered how DVDs continue to dominate the market share on the home video charts consistently, even though Blu-ray's high definition has been out for almost 2 decades? What is going on? In today's physical media news topic video, we dive into all the dirty details on how DVDs have been able to dominate Blu-rays consistently over 2 decades, and why Blu-rays just aren't going to be able to take over. We get into this controversial theory of how streaming actually killed Blu-rays, but not DVDs, and then we talk about the future of where physical media goes next. Are Blu-rays ever going to be able to take over, or are DVDs going to be the dominant force forever? But first, if you love collecting physical media just like me and being a part of this amazing league of mega film fans, whether you collect DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks, Laserdisc, VHS, you're in the right spot. Go ahead and mega smash that like and subscribe. That way you stay entertained and up to date on all the latest physical media topics. And of course, leave in the comments below, do you think streaming killed Blu-rays? So first up, diving into the news of the recent trends of the home video charts and looking at the market share breakdowns, we've known because of these trends that DVDs have just been a dominant force in the physical media world. When we look at the different disc formats, especially Blu-ray, we see they only hover around 20%. Sometimes they've gotten to about 25, maybe on a great week, every blue moon, they might get to around 30%, but they stick between 20 and 30 very consistently, and as of recent, haven't really been fluctuating much at all. But DVDs, 60 to 70%, they are always dominating. That is almost 3/4 of the market share. 4Ks and Blu-rays really aren't taking up much of the pie here. 4Ks even less so than Blu-rays often. 4Ks are usually only around 5 to 15%, maybe 20% once again in a rare blue moon, but they're doing worse than Blu-rays a majority of the time. So what is going on here? Why do DVDs just continue to dominate consistently week after week? There is no end in sight for DVDs, even though we've had this high definition disc, this Blu-ray disc, around for about 2 decades now. Don't you think the majority of people would have switched over to Blu-ray discs? Don't they want high definition? Don't they want a better quality image and better sound and less compression? Don't they want to see more pixels on the screen so they can be more immersed into the environment and see more expression on the characters' faces? Don't they want that high definition amazingness? Well, there must be something else going on here, and that's going to lead us to a controversial theory that was brought up in a comment on some of my videos as of recent. And I can't wait to dive into this one because this got the spicy thoughts to think in, and this is going to be great to blockbust. Now let's tackle this controversial theory that was brought up on my channel with a few different comments, and I've seen it on a few different videos. So definitely shout out in the comments below if you brought up something similar to this theory. But basically, streaming has killed Blu-rays. Blu-rays specifically, not as much DVDs. This got my gears turning and got me thinking in the physical media world, why has it hurt Blu-rays maybe more so than DVDs? Why aren't people upgrading to Blu-rays? Well, it was kind of presented as those people that would have upgraded from DVD to Blu-ray, the people that would have just wanted to upkeep with the newer technology, like the majority of people out there, they like to get newer things, they like to upgrade, they like to, get the new iPhone when it comes out. They would have upgraded those DVD discs to the Blu-ray disc, and that would have became the dominant market share force for the physical media world. Blu-rays should have became the new king, but no, we see DVDs as the consistent dominant force. They are the king. They have the majority of the market share. That is undoubtable. So the people that would have upgraded to them, they went to the high definition streaming. They went to Netflix and Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Max, Hulu, all of that. They started streaming in high definition because streaming usually offers high definition. Even you can upgrade to 4K a lot of the times. Yeah, it's not really 4K disc quality or high definition disc quality as we know as collectors because we're a little bit more picky on the quality. But for the mass of people out there, the majority, they were okay with that kind of high definition with streaming. They felt no need to go get these Blu-ray discs. And so that's where the people went. They did not go to upgrade the Blu-ray disc. That's why we haven't seen Blu-rays take over the market share. That's a contributing factor right there, as we call it. But there's other contributing factors out there. Other ones that have been presented as well in my comments are we have not seen studios push enough for Blu-rays and 4Ks, and they really just don't push enough for that HD format. They could have said, hey, we're not going to even release DVDs anymore. We're only releasing Blu-rays for new titles. Kind of like what they did with VHS, right? DVDs came in and eventually they stopped releasing VHS and they just went to DVDs. You thought they would have maybe done the same thing when they went to Blu-rays. Eventually, they would have had a stopping point eventually, and then we would have just had Blu-rays and then another stopping point in maybe 4Ks, or at least have Blu-rays and 4Ks coexist. But the studios did not do that. They kept releasing new titles on DVDs, sometimes on Blu-rays, and then sometimes on 4Ks. And so there's just way more titles out on DVDs. A lot of titles did not make the jump up to the Blu-ray format. So if you wanted the movie, you had to pick up the DVD anyway. The TV shows you had to get on DVD for the most part. And a lot of movies that just went direct to home video just ended up going to DVD. They didn't get the Blu-ray release. So it was very few and far and in between for Blu-ray and 4K releases, of course. So really the studios kind of help fuel the mindset that, hey, you know what? You're not always going to be able to get a Blu-ray, so just settle with the DVD at this point. And then people just get used to picking up DVDs that are still collecting, and mostly DVDs are sold everywhere: Walmart's, dollar stores, thrift stores, swap meets, you name it. There's so many DVDs out there. Sometimes it's tough to find a Blu-ray these days, or especially a 4K can be very, very rare out there. So this is what happened to the market share. This is why we see the breakdown as it is, where Blu-rays just aren't the dominant force. Studios, once again, have just promoted DVDs way more than Blu-rays and 4Ks. Once again, it could be a number of factors with that, with production costs, and it's more expensive to make a 4K or a Blu-ray, and DVDs are just so cheap, and all of that. I get that. The pricing structure, inflation, that all plays some factors into all of this. Of course, that makes sense. But also, once again, streaming, that idea that streaming, those people that would have upgraded from DVDs to the Blu-rays instead went to go stream and high definition instead, and didn't really know the difference between high definition on the disc, high definition on streaming. They just wanted the convenience at their fingertips, going to go watch something on their phone, whatever the case might be. But that's why this theory has kind of popped up on my channel, where streaming more so hurt Blu-rays than DVD collecting. Well, we know streaming, of course, hurt all of physical media collecting. That's no doubt about it. But which one did it hurt the most? When you look at DVDs and Blu-rays side by side, well, if we look at the market share breakdown, we look at the trends here we've seen, I think the numbers show that it did hurt Blu-rays more. And I think that's just fascinating. I never really thought about it in that context, but people were just leaving these amazing comments on my channel and getting my mind thinking in that direction where, wow, there might be something to that theory there that streaming actually killed Blu-rays, not DVDs, which was just so curious to me. But let's talk about now the future. Why is this important? Where does this go to next? How is this going to impact the physical media world? Is Blu-ray ever going to be able to dominate? Well, let's get into that. All right, so diving into the future here so we can speculate and predict what's going to be the king of physical media in the next few years. Well, to me, the answer is pretty simple, and it's going to be the continuous answer. DVDs will dominate. I do not think Blu-rays will increase that much of a percentage. I think they will hover from 20 to 30%, as we've seen, right? I've been doing these mega movie number, physical media number breakdowns for a while now. These charts have been pretty consistent, where Blu-rays are sticking really into a range here, and I don't think they're ever going to break that 40% marker or that 50% marker and become the new king. No, that is DVD right there, because those people that want HD, or what they consider HD are just streaming. They never went and upgraded their technology to the Blu-ray disc, most certainly not to the 4K disc. They are not going to go to no 8K disc either. Get that thought out of your mind. So these people that really went to streaming really killed the physical media sales for Blu-rays, I think, forever. I don't think we're going to see in 5 years a change where now it's Blu-rays are dominant or 4Ks are dominant. I don't think that's going to happen at all. If anything, I think Blu-ray numbers will shrink and 4K numbers will shrink as there's less and less collectors, as we see there is no renaissance of physical media happening. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I hope there's a physical media renaissance and people get on the Blu-ray collecting train and 4K collecting train or DVDs. You know, just collect something. Go for VHS if you want the nostalgia just to see that happen. I hope that eventually happens. But as we keep continuing these trends be pretty consistent, I just have more doubt that these numbers are going to fluctuate more than we've already really seen. We kind of see the ranges for these different disc formats. And I really think the only thing that would majorly change this is just the production of these discs and players. If we saw studios say, okay, no more DVDs are being produced, we're going to produce only new movies and new releases onto the Blu-rays or onto the 4Ks, that's when we would see, I think, those discs take off. Because if somebody wants to watch it when they're walking through Walmart and they're like, oh, that's a new movie I heard about. I saw a trailer for that. Oh, I can't pick up a DVD anymore. I have to pick up a Blu-ray. Okay, let me go and pick that one up. I think that's the only way that's going to happen, because if they see that DVD, they see that DVD price, they are going to go for that DVD. So unless they're really forced to go for the Blu-ray, I just don't see it fluctuating that much. Also, more expensive players out there, especially when you start getting into 4K. Like, that's not going to happen unless they said, oh, no more Blu-rays now, only 4Ks and only 4K players. But then that's going to price a lot of people out of collecting, and I don't want that either. I want as much collectors collecting any kind of physical media as possible. So I don't see these numbers really fluctuating that much. They have a certain range they're going to stick in, and that's how it's going to be. I don't think Blu-rays are going to dominate. And we've seen, once again, about 2 decades here of data and information. If it hasn't changed now, I just don't think it's ever going to change. We have now kind of proven the point that they are in this market share range, and that's just how it's going to be. But that's not terrible. I mean, it is what it is. You still have different disc formats available to collect for whatever your collecting needs are, and there still will be physical media for the collecting world. That is the most important part. It's not going to disappear all entirely, and I think that is most important. But I was just happy to kind of tackle this theory because I thought it was interesting seeing it in comments brought up on my channel. I just thought it was fascinating. But now you guys are going to have to let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this controversial theory out there that streaming killed more Blu-rays than DVDs? Let's hear your thoughts down below. Let's have a fun time talking the movies, responding to each other. That's how we get a good dialogue going back and forth. I really want to see great organic conversations there. And of course, just make it a movie day. And mega smash that like and subscribe if you haven't already. You love collecting, you love physical media. You gotta hit that little thumbs up right there, that notification bell, and that way you stay entertained and up to date on all the latest physical media topics. And of course, you love this video, go ahead and blockbust the next one right now. And thank you so much, my mega membership supporters. If you love talking and collecting movies, consider joining the Mega League of Film Fans through memberships to support content creation while gaining access to perks like shoutouts, exclusive videos, and future topic choices.